Welcome back to Cold Opal. Today we are going to do some exciting things because we've got our diamond sintered bits and our Nova tips and all the other stuff that we're going to need. I could have started in on this stone with some other types, but I kind of wanted to wait to do it so that there would be a clear progression from the cuts, the preliminary cuts that we did, and then going right into the heavier grinding that we're going to do to work away a little bit more of the back of the stone. We had some very promising results yesterday with what we cut away. It was kind of on the side of the face, and it really brought the stone to life. Only one little tiny trace of matrix was showing through, but there's more in there. So what we're hoping for today, and we'll see what happens, is to grind away more of the back, kind of see how it looks then, and see if it's facing one way or another. You know, there's kind of two ways this stone could go, and it'll be interesting for us to see what happens when we work away the rest of the back. I was very surprised when we got the results that we did yesterday, because the front of the stone wasn't very bright, and it was improved dramatically by what we removed from the side. And so I'm hoping that we're going to reveal more good stuff today, and this will be our first time using the sintered diamond bit. This is a 100 grit. I might get started with this and find out, okay, we need to swap this one out. This is too fast. This is too much. I've got varying bits. I've got some 220s in different tips. I've got, this one is a pearl tip. This is a flame tip. And I've got a drum. So we can go about it, several different ways. These are all 220s. This one here is 100. And then, depending upon how things go, we might be able to get this thing into a rough shape and have it ready for Nova tipping on the next stage. So stick around to find out. So some good progress here. We're making headway. We're getting down into the important, good areas of the stone, those parts of the stone that have the most matrix through it. It's hard to read, would be the way I would put it, where that purple and reds that we saw are only coming from one area of the stone, and it's very difficult to get it to show on camera. I believe I got one little frame that had some of that sparkle in there. But we've taken a couple of days to kind of mull it around our heads and see what we want to do with this thing to proceed. At first, I was not thinking that this was going to be a cabochon of any sort, but there might be a possibility to get one out of this stone, and maybe that is what we're going to try to do. I also thought about cutting it down the middle. There's a kind of a little crack in the stone where we could maybe make a cut. You'd lose a lot of the stone. I'd say just in making the cut, you would lose 20 to 30% of the weight of what is left of this stone, which is a lot. And you'd be cutting through stuff that has potential, at least. At least if you're cutting it on the back, you could maybe shape it to have a pleasant back, I guess. So maybe we'll just leave the back for now and do a little bit more investigation on the front side of the stone. It's got this one area here that I am hoping is going to turn out nicely for us. It's not always going to work out that way, but you know, we'll take a shot. And if the other colors weren't coming from underneath there, I would maybe not feel the need to go and investigate. But it's going to need to be kind of shaped up anyway, so let's go ahead and do that. And we'll use a little bit of the Sinter Diamond 100 grit, and then we'll go to a 280 Nova, the black Nova tip, and see what we can unearth and see if that, it's kind of like parts of the face of the stone have a little picture windows where you're seeing deep inside the stone, which is very promising. Maybe more of those picture windows open up. Maybe we can glean some more insights into the stone. I'm excited to find out. Okay, well, we've just recently weighed the stone and it's down to 8.3 carats. The back is mostly gone. It needs a little bit more. It's not even. So we dealt with a lot of uniformity issues on that back, which came from the fact that there's ironstone, sandstone, and the opal on the back all kind of running at the same level. So yeah, we've taken a lot away, and I think we're left with something that's pretty nice, and that will be making that nice cabochon that we talked about. I don't know how big it will be. We've still got a ways to go. But I just thought I'd give another quick look at the stone before we continue with our cutting. So we've finished the stone, or at least we're going to call it a day at this point in time, or in this case a week, because that's kind of how long this thing has taken. It isn't going to be uniform, and it just wouldn't cooperate. There's just a corrugation in the hardness of the material that is tough to overcome, try as we did, and we did spend many hours trying to defeat that, but we didn't succeed. It's still not terrible, though. I mean, you've seen worse opals than this, I'm sure. So, you know, it's got, you know, a little bit of color coming through the back, and it's got some of that white matrix on the back. But it was very difficult to try to get this to cab up like we wanted, and we just kind of have to live with the results that we were able to achieve in that regard. It's not too bad, though. I mean, you know. It's just taken to the 14,000 stage with the Nova tips. We did 280. I did a bit of shaping and kind of tried my best to finish the shape, but it's gonna just be a free form instead of a nice cabochon. It's 4 carats, so I'm gonna give this to my daughter, and I hope she enjoys it. It's hard to believe just how long this took to get to this point with the what we started with. But yeah, there we go. First opal completed. There we go. 4 carat Koroit matrix opal. Thanks for tuning in.